Greetings, degenerates. Welcome back to the Cathedral of St. Michael here. In today's sermon, we're going to be taking a look at a clip from Jimmy Fallon. I know, he's still a thing. The guy whose ratings are so low that Mario and Luigi have to trip over them in order to get more coins. He's been talking about ICE and Minnesota and the murder of Petty and Good. That's not they weren't murders. They were fuck around and find out moments. But he has to spew his propaganda and shed his crocodile tears to get his clapping seals of an audience to, react in any way. Because again, no fucking ratings. This guy, no one cares about late night. But we're going to be taking a look at this. This is about him and I believe the actual shootings itself. Let's go spelunking in this shit cave together, everyone.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us.
Just automatically, just clapping seals, just because they have an applause sign over their head.
From our home in Hollywood for the last 23 years. Tonight is our 23rd anniversary. We went on the...
Oh, God, this fuck's been around for 23 years? Oh, God, it's CBS or ABC, whoever it is, has been wasting that much money for that long? Oof.
Here, 23 years ago tonight. You weren't with us yet, Guillermo.
No, I was in the parking lot. Yeah, I was not here.
But we will still make love to celebrate tonight.
Yeah, let's do it.
It was a very different time back then, 23 years ago. It was better. It was a better time. I spent the weekend like probably a lot of you did.
Yeah, it was a lot better. You weren't around, 23 and a half years ago.
Looking at my phone and just feeling shocked and sick about what is happening in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I know. It's really disgusting what's going on in Minneapolis. All these fucking weirdo protesters are blocking ICE agents from, wanting to deport illegals. That's horrible. Oh,
one
that's
video
not what you're
after
talking
another,
about.
screaming people being torn from their families.
These same screaming people that were torn from the families were probably torn from their actual families because coyotes like to take kids and use them as shields in order to get over the border. But you don't care about that. You wish to just cry about, brown people that make your tacos and shut up and apparently do your music.
Americans, people who were born in the United States being pulled out of their cars for the crime of having an accent or whatever. Children.
That's not true. That's an absolute lie.
Small children, babies being tear gassed.
That is absolute fucking bullshit. That's not happening. In the world of things that have never happened, that is the least likely thing to have ever happened, ever.
Taken into custody.
No, okay, actually, no. The least likely thing to have ever happened ever is this guy actually making a joke that's funny on purpose.
Separated from their parents. Just one atrocity after.
Again, coyotes taking children away from their actual parents to use them as shields so that they can smuggle drugs and sex workers. Yeah. And not only are those sex workers, sometimes not even adults. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Another being committed by this gang of poorly trained, shamefully led, mask-wearing goons. And that is what...
Poorly trained, mask-wearing goons. Isn't that exactly what you guys promoted during the entirety of the COVID thing? Oh, hello? Like, you had your own version of the Gestapo when, little Jimmy over there didn't want to wear a mask in school.
They're goons committing vile, heartless, and even criminal acts. And
it's not criminal to remove illegals from this country. It's not wrong to pick a parasite that is leeching off our ass.
It's sickening to watch, and it's frustrating to watch. It's
sickening to watch, like having to sit through this.
It's like we're all being forced to play a game that has no rules. They just make up the rules as they go along. We see...
Again, COVID.
These videos in which we clearly see one of our fellow Americans executed by ICE, and they won't even admit that it was a mistake.
I'm guessing he's talking about Petty. He was resisting arrest. He was He wasn't a nurse. He quit his job. He was acting weird by even the accounts of his own parents. And as far as I know, he was brandishing a weapon. Okay? All you fucking left-wing lunatics who want to take away guns, no guns are allowed, gun-free zones, now all of a sudden you give a fuck about legal gun ownership? No, you don't get to flip-flop. You don't want guns for anyone, except for the police, which you also call racist. But then the government's racist. Again, just like in the last video, it's just a constant Ouroboros of hypocrisy.
I mean, they say the Honda SUV Renee Good was driving was weaponized. They say the gun Alex Preddy had
Are you
a license
fucking
to
kidding me? She pushed the vehicle towards another human being in an attempt to cause and successfully cause bodily harm. Look, when you use a tool for its unintended purpose to cause harm, it is a weapon, you jackass.
in an open carry state. All right, many of these same people screamed very loudly about when it was Kyle Rittenhouse carrying.
Are you fucking kidding me? Now you care about open carry? First of all, yes, Kyle Rittenhouse and whatever Petty, they both were legal gun owners. No one cares about that. The difference is Petty was using the gun illegally. You do not have the right to brandish a weapon. You do not have the right to wave it around or do whatever he was towards officers. Kyle Rittenhouse was defending people, and guess what? There are still people who think he killed black people, when in reality, he killed a bunch of white people. One was a wife beater, the other was a pedophile.
The gun, a gun that Alex Preddy did not even draw, did not touch, a gun that was taken from him by...
That's not true.
One of the agents before he was shot dead by the other ones. They fired...
As far as I know, that picture that's been going around is edited in some way. I don't know if it was AI, but no. This guy's completely lying.
10 times on an ICU nurse, they're telling us, well, it was justified, you know? Is that the law?
He wasn't a nurse at the time. I think he had quit his job.
Law and order that you voted for, if you
Yes.
voted for this? Every day is a nightmare now.
No, I'm actually enjoying it. Now, there are things to criticize Trump for. Obviously, there's no perfect person. There's no perfect leader. If you ever want that, you're delusional in hope of utopianism. I was never under a delusion that Trump's going to fix everything and make everything happy and rainbows and sweet candy. But certainly better than Kamala Harris. Look, where's that war with Venezuela? Where's that eternal war with Iran? Where's World War III that, all these people keep yammering about? It's not happening, okay? Getting rid of terrorists and getting rid of drug dealers and getting rid of illegals is not wrong.
My wife and I have family in Minneapolis. They're afraid to
This guy has a wife? Oh. I would say it's a beard, but he can't clearly grow one.
take their kids to school. They're afraid to go to work. And I can only imagine.
Oh, remember when you guys would say if you have nothing to hide, then why be in fear or something like that? Well, if you're afraid of being caught by ICE, maybe it's because you don't belong.
Imagine how people who aren't white feel about this. How does this end? What's the plan here? Is the plan to just keep doing this in every city that didn't vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, but here's the thing. You notice how the states that didn't vote for Donald Trump have this problem? It's like you don't fucking get a correlation here. Here in the great state of Florida, sure, we have illegals, but we don't have the mass protests and the bullshit because, we voted typically in line with the president. We don't want illegals here. Your fucking states and your fucking cities keep voting for it because they're blue. They want drug shoot-up sites. They want illegal housing areas. When it doesn't fucking do anything and makes the cities dirty, gross, and expensive.
Does anyone on any side believe this is good leadership?
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
We keep saying we need to find subjects that we can agree on. Can we agree that peaceful protesters...
They're not peaceful when they're using weapons.
Including moms driving SUVs on their way back.
Oh, for the love of God, this fucking... she was a poor mother on her way home. No, she wasn't. She was clearly using a tool, a car, as a weapon. Okay? The fucking ICE officer was like 2 feet from her car. You don't just like, oh wow, I didn't see you. Look, if you're driving down the road and if you hit a raccoon or a deer, sure, I understand that. You're going 80, 60, whatever miles an hour, and you just don't see it. That's fine. But when you're 2 feet from a fucking human being and you're told to hit the gas or drive, baby, drive, you're not on your way home. You're turning a tool intended for transportation from point A to point B into a fucking weapon of tons of steel, gas, and fire. Get fucked, you propaganda spewing retard.
After dropping their 6-year-old off at school, and a nurse who stepped in to protect a woman from harm don't deserve to be shot dead in the street by the people we are paying to protect us? Can we agree on that? I mean...
No. Clap, you seals, clap.
Can we agree that when we see a person murdered in cold blood, that there should at least be an investigation of it?
It's not murder. Murder is life taken that didn't need to be taken. Innocent life. Sorry. They're fucking around and find out.
That. And that our ironically titled head of Homeland Security has the responsibility to get facts before telling us that what we saw we did not see. I mean, if we can't agree on that, forget it then. This one seems pretty open and shut to me. I think we can agree on this one. It's on video. Look at it. Do your own research. And then once you form your own opinion without being...
Form your own opinion just so long as your opinion steps in line with mine.
Told what you saw, say something. Where are the reasonable voices on the right? I mean, we don't have to agree on everything, but come on. If that was a group of trans swimmers shooting a guy for making a cell phone video, you'd be heating up the electric chairs right now. Admit it.
Because most likely those people would be shooting up a Christian school that you would be ignoring or calling a white supremacy group. You fuck.
You would. Let's cut the bullshit already because
ICE shooting people that were turning weapons or turning objects into weaponry is not the same as a bunch of drugged up, dick chopped off, fucking queer freaks taking their daddy's gun that they shouldn't have and shooting up a school. The comparison is fucking insane. It's not equivalent, you fucktard.
It may be Fox, but it ain't news.
Agents reasonably thought that...
Oh yes, because CNN is fucking news. Oh my God.
They were in danger because a gun was produced.
If he's armed and they knew he was armed, it was imperative for them to take him down.
And now here, literally a guy pulls a gun on an ICE officer. He defends himself.
When you are seeing a gun in your face and you're in the scuffle, then you have to, again, assume that is a gun.
And you could tell in that moment that they saw something or something spooked them because they all back off all of a sudden, and then you hear shots fired.
You've got an armed individual, somebody holding a gun up to Border Patrol. Of course you are going to see a reaction.
Do you think these are all just local Minneapolis folks who have decided to go out on a sub-zero day?
Only one person could have prevented this from happening, and it's Alex Preddy.
What he did put agents in a situation where they had to use deadly force.
These officers very well could have prevented a major mass shooting of multiple officers today.
Oh, please.
Oh, please. They were in danger. It's not like he had a gun. He was such a peaceful nurse.
If that was ISIS instead of ICE, we'd be firing missiles at somebody and pledging allegiance to the flag altogether right now.
Again, false equivalency. You fucktard.
Watch that video. Watch every angle, as upsetting as it might be, and decide for yourself if that's making America great. And if it isn't, please say something about it. This has to stop. And I'm convinced now that the only people who can stop it are on the right. I know it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, because you guys don't want guns.
To go against your tribe or whatever it is. But that's...
Oh, yeah, oh, my Lord. I know it takes courage to go against your tribe. Really? You want to talk about fucking tribalism? How easily did you fucking eat your own when it came to Tulsi Gabbard, to RFK Jr., or fucking Elon Musk? Hell, I just put this in the news for my show last Sunday. You fuckers want to get rid of the guy who had the stroke. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
That's what we need. We need some decent people on the right to show some courage and some common sense. And if our leaders aren't even trying to reduce the amount of chaos in the street rather than exacerbate
They are trying to reduce the amount of chaos in the street because your side's producing the chaos.
it, if our leaders are intentionally creating and encouraging violence,
I don't care. I don't care what anyone says, right or left. There are times when a president has to go in and put down a rebellion. Look up George Washington, okay?
violence and fear, then I hope you will also agree we need new leaders, because these are not leaders. And to the people of Minneapolis, to the Preddy family and the Good family, and these...
Oh, God, here comes the fucking tears. This fucking queer fuck's gonna go, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's like the family has already said that this guy was, like, fucking weird. He was acting weird. He quit his job. He was weird. He was being very distant and strange. Shut up.
People who were looking out for their neighbors.
Oh, my God, this guy's such a fucking... Oh, I want to say a word right now. He's such a poly word.
We want you to know that we are with you and you are not alone.
And by the way, I have nothing against men necessarily crying. I'm not one of those people. But, like, this is just performative crap, okay? Men cry because of the birth of a child, their kids get married, a death that's impactful, you know, family, friend, pet. But you're crying over a guy who fucked around and found out. Just stop it. Limp-wristed polyword.
I'll tell you another thing. We also want to see those Epstein files already.
Hey, okay, you know what? Finally, something I agree with you on. Hell fucking yes. I'm sick and tired of that. Okay, I don't care. Well, it might compromise people. Look, I understand there's a lot of people. If for those who know, you know, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, I know this is a weird thing to talk about, but when Barty Crouch Jr. Disguised as Mad-Eye, he was teaching the class about the three unforgivable curses. He was basically saying, well, this is the one curse. It wasn't Crucio. It wasn't Evada. It was the other one. I'm blanking. But it's the mind control one. And he's like, we have to separate who was doing the bidding of the Dark Lord because they liked it, or who was doing the bidding of him because they were under the Imperious curse. And that's the thing, is like, if you release the files, who was there simply because they were trying to make a deal with the Hollywood guy, or who was there because they wanted to, you know, have adventures with non-digging miners, you know? So I understand that, but at this point, I don't care. Just release them all, let the FBI sort them out.
I don't believe Trump has a plan of any kind when he does this stuff, but I think the scoundrels who work for him do. Our esteemed Attorney General Pam Bondi, who runs the Justice Department, sent...
Agreed. I have massive... This is actually where I do agree. I think Pam Bondi has been inept. I think she's been either compromised or she's just not good at her job.
The letter to the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, asking for, among other things, all of Minnesota's voter rolls in exchange for de-escalation from ICE. She sent him a cease and desist to be a democracy letter, which Governor Walz, to his credit...
No, that's not what she was saying, because we know illegals vote in elections. That's why these people are fucking throwing a temper tantrum about the whole getting rid of illegals and the whole fraud and Somali thing, because they're literally saying this is about rigging an election, which is ironic because it's about fixing rigged elections.
Flatly denied.
Look, I think everybody understands.
Oh, God, there's only one clip I'm going to be able to put in here, and... Oh, God.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
What the last request was, totally unrelated to anything on the voter files. This is, again, as the Attorney General said, Donald Trump telling everybody that the election was rigged, who started all this nightmare for America.
Really? You want to bitch about rigged elections? Again, I understand that, well, their side was doing it and our side. There's a difference between Trump saying it and Hillary saying it, okay? Because when Trump says it, there's actual showing that it was. The Hillary saying it is complete bullshit because they created the Russia myth.
Has nothing to do with it. And I would just give a pro tip to the Attorney General. There's 2 million documents in the Epstein files we're still waiting on. Go ahead and work on those.
Yeah. It's called the Minnesota mic drop right there.
Was that a joke?
He's going balls to the walls. That should be the response to any question on any topic involving Pam Bondi or Donald Trump. Where are those Epstein files already? Tim Walz and President Trump spoke on the phone today. Trump said they had a very good call, which I think for Trump means he didn't call him the R word during the call. That's progress. The fact that Trump even got on the phone with...
You mean retard. Just say the fucking word, you pussy.
Tim Walz shows you he knows he's made a mess here. He's also sending somebody in to replace his number one ice hole in Minneapolis, the head of the Border Patrol, Greg Bovino, this is Greg Bovino's high school yearbook. And this is what would happen if the Proud Boys recruited McLovin. This is what he would turn into.
This is a joke? You're putting up a picture of some guy in high school and saying, ha ha ha, look at him? God, you guys are such petty high school bitches. It's pathetic.
That year, Greg and a cantaloupe with a hole in it were named cutest couple. He was voted most likely to be hospitalized with a light bulb in his ass. So Bovino...
By the way, most of the time people aren't actually laughing. They're just clapping. Because this isn't funny.
Bovino is reportedly being either demoted or removed from Minneapolis to go terrorize other cities, which I'm sure has nothing at all to do with this insane statement he made on CNN.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents. The victim are the Border Patrol agents. The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents, not the people who are dead. It seems like maybe even Trump's had enough of Greg and his crossbody bag, because this morning he wrote, I am sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight.
Ooh. Now, here's a really bit of interesting history. Tom Homan, which kind of sounds like a name an alien would come up in order to be human. I am Tom Homan. He worked under Obama. And remember, fucking asshole Jimmy Fallon, Kimmel, whichever one you are, Obama was known as the deporter-in-chief. He kicked out more illegals than Trump. He also invited a shit ton of them, and so did his predecessor, would have been predecessor. No one really wanted Biden. Biden fucking put a free housing sign up for him. Tom Homan worked under Obama, okay? So why is it now all of a sudden he's enemy number one?
He has not been involved in that area, but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is tough but fair and will report directly to me. Oh, good.
Yeah, as Tom Homan reported directly to Obama, you dumbass.
That will help. This is Tom Homan, if you're not familiar. This is, the saying, he's not as dumb as he looks? Well, he is just as dumb. It was widely reported that the FBI...
Hear that? Hear that? There was a couple little laughs, and most of it was claps. Because that's not a joke. Again, he was working under Obama, deporting illegals. Now it's a problem.
Caught Tom Homan on tape in September of 2024 accepting $50,000 in cash in a fast food bag from undercover agents posing as private contractors in exchange for a promise to help them score border enforcement contracts in the new Trump administration. And this is the guy they're sending to Minnesota to fix things, to help round up the criminals there. In the Trump administration, taking a bag full of cash gets you promoted. It doesn't get you in jail. The Senate is expected, by the way, to vote on funding for the Department of Homeland Security as soon as tomorrow. And if they can't reach a deal on Friday, we could have another government shutdown on our hands.
Oh no, a government shutdown. You mean like that one that lasted a couple weeks last time and literally nothing happened? No one fucking noticed? Oh no, poor you.
They're running like a Swiss watch. It's just excellent. The good news is all the death and sadness and horror didn't stop the president from posting and boasting about his new $400 million ballroom. He wrote, "I'm building on top of everything else that I'm doing one of the greatest and most beautiful ballrooms anywhere in the world." That's so cool. Maybe you should
Yeah, because we all know you love balls, Jimmy.
stop doing everything else you're doing and spend all of your time focusing on that. I think we'd be okay with it. On Friday, he also shared designs for what he is calling the Independence Arch. He wants to build near the Lincoln Memorial on the National Mall. You can see the renderings here. They are arranged in order from most to least, like something on the lawn at Liberace's house. You can see, but
Okay, yeah, the first one I'm not a fan of, but I personally am not a fan of gold, just in general. The middle one I kind of like, and the third one I think is good. This is actually pretty fucking dope. In fact, I would argue that this should replace the Lincoln Memorial because fuck Abraham Lincoln.
I guess he's going to choose. I like that he's pretending he might.
He didn't free anyone, okay? This myth of him being a great emancipator, he fucking wasn't. If you actually even read the Emancipation Proclamation, there was no emancipation.
Not choose the one covered in gold. We're less than a month into the new year. So far, this administration has managed to...
That was just a small rant. If you want to hear more, again, raise your fists video.
...to start a war in Minnesota, invade Venezuela, threaten to invade Greenland, pull us out of the World Health Organization.
And I have not gone down since. Jesus, that's all he's done. Let's see, we do need Greenland. It's important for America to have more control in the Arctic. It just is. Russia and China have way too much power up there. No one's really using Greenland for anything. Look, no one is using the north of Canada for fucking anything, okay? It is so useless. Most Canadians live like fucking right on the border of America, okay? The first level of provinces, that's it. Everything else is just fucking snow and ice and polar bears. That's it. Let's see. Removing us from the World Health Organization. Yeah, because that did a whole lot. Again, COVID.
Attack our own Federal Reserve, abandon vaccine science, bring back...
Abandon vaccine science. No, he just said that most kids, and this is RFK, kids don't need to be pumped full of injections when they're like 2, okay? When they're just pushed out of their mother's womb, they don't need to be injected with every fucking chemical known to man, okay? That's it. He didn't abandon vaccine science. He actually wants better vaccine science because here's a little bit of more history. Vaccines even back in the day didn't fucking do jack shit. They gave you the same fucking disease.
Measles, send healthcare premiums through the roof, and kill 2 U.S. citizens in cold blood. And
no, they were not killed in cold blood. You lying piece of shit.
He still thinks he got cheated out of a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean...
Really? The guy who ended 8 wars and took out an armed drug-dealing dictator who refused to leave office even when he was voted out? And there's no war. Venezuela didn't say, oh, well, we're going to hit you back. No, Venezuelans were fucking cheering. There were Venezuelans in Florida cheering. There were people in neighboring areas, neighboring countries like Brazil that were saying, hey, can you come here next? Okay? Going back up to the Canada thing, I have a bit of a conflict of interest, but I can tell you that if Canada, and it was kind of funny that they're, bolstering their army. It's so adorable. If America did barge in through Canada, I can fucking attest that most of the Canadians would take up arms and help.
If that delusion doesn't trigger the 25th Amendment, what possibly will?
You want us to talk about triggering the 25th Amendment? How about the guy that you fucking wouldn't stop ass-patting who couldn't conjure up a fucking sentence?
I mean, remember...
More clapping.
I'm only old enough to remember a time when we thought Sarah Palin was crazy, okay?
She is.
Saturday night, as the nation was mourning the tragic events in Minneapolis, the Trumps hosted a special screening of the new Melania movie at the White House. It was attended by Donald, Melania, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, Tony Robbins, and Mike Tyson. I sure hope they had some cameras rolling when Melania made small talk with Mike Tyson, because that is the documentary I would like to see. The film was a $75 million gift to
Why was everyone laughing? That's not a joke.
the Trumps from Amazon, and the president was very grateful. He said, without this documentary, he'd know nothing about his wife. What's the name of the country she's from? Melania doesn't open until Friday, but
Yeah, keep in mind, she's a legal citizen. I'm just saying that.
we did get a sneak peek at the opening sequence, specifically the logo that appears at the top of the film. She is a lucky lady, a warm lady and a fortunate woman. Speaking of warm, we're sending warm wishes to those of you who are under a winter storm warning. The Weather Channel has dubbed this Winter Storm Fern. Over the weekend, more than 1 million Americans lost power, and that is when it is the Amish's time to shine. This is an Amish buggy driver in Tennessee doing the...
I'm gonna skip this because
The real shame
I'm
is
gonna
he'll
put that
never
in my
see
show
that.
someday.
He will never get to see it. You know, the Department of Homeland Security reportedly asked staffers at FEMA to refrain from using the word ice in their descriptions of the winter storm because they're worried it might lead to some kind of meme linking the danger of the storm to the danger of the ICE agents storming our streets. You know your federal agency's doing well when they're concerned that mentioning its name could damage winter's reputation. But this is from the CBS affiliate in Oklahoma City, where meteorologist Lacey Swope had to issue a stern warning about Fern.
This is how much we've seen so far. Now, some of this is radar estimates, and then just your reports that you've been sending in. Keep those coming. I made the mistake on Facebook. I asked for your measurements. I meant your snow measurements. Thank you for everybody sending in your measurements, but I do prefer...
What the fuck? Wow.
...how much snow you have on the ground.
That's right. Keep it in your parkas, you perverts. Any chance
That's the first time a woman ever said 3 inches was big.
you give people a big gross, they will take it. It was a brutal weekend weather-wise, capped off with the terrible news that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl, which could mean another Matt Damon Duncan commercial. The matchup for Super Bowl 60 is set. It's New England versus Seattle. The last time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl was 2019, back when their coach at the time, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, was in kindergarten. So it's been some time. Patriots got some help from the snow to stall the Broncos up in Denver. It was a challenging day for Patriots quarterback Drake May. The fans...
Yeah, I don't care.
Here in Denver, Colorado.
May, that's it for us. Here in Denver, back to you, Lisa. Why should hockey get all the gay fun, right? The president said over the weekend that he will not attend the Super Bowl this year. He only roots for Patriots when they're storming the Capitol. He will stay at home.
Oh my lord, are you fucking still going on about this? I mean, obviously they're still going on about the fucking Russia thing, but it's like, they weren't storming the Capitol. It was a guided fucking tour. Let's compare Jan 6, when people were just walking briskly through a fucking hallway, and the people that are now currently storming, burning, and acting like fucking children and apes in a cage in the streets of various blue cities. They're not the same.
You know, back in October, Kristi Noem said ICE agents would be all over the Super Bowl because Bad Bunny's going to be there, which is part of the Trump administration plan to ruin everything we enjoy. Kristi Noem has also been busy gaslighting.
I have no idea who that is. Not Kristi Noem, Bad Bunny. I have no idea who that is. But then again, I listen to music.
Us when it came to the death of Alex Preddy. She even took shots at licensed gun owners, which did not go over bigly with her friends at the NRA.
This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign.
Really, you don't? What about these guys, or these people, or this cowboy, or these cosplayers, or this LARPy gentleman, or in his Tommy Bahama combat wear?
Okay, yeah, that's not necessarily the best thing to say, and I do disagree with the idea of like, well, you're coming to a protest, why do you have a gun? I think you do have the right to carry. Obviously, it's the Second Amendment, and I would argue most of these people are probably paid fucking feds, but not allowed to say that. But the fact of the matter is, I don't give a fuck what the NRA has to say. I really don't. If they're pissed off, I don't care. Same with the ATF. You don't have the right to take said weapon and start acting like a buffoon.
Those guys, for those licensed gun owners, it's okay.
Because those people are most likely not going to use it.
The ones that you don't agree with, it's not. These kooks would shoot Mary Poppins out of the air and call her a UFO. Kristi Noem is telling us to accept that what we are seeing...
Well, she's a fucking witch. Of course. Like, duh. She has fucking magic and she hangs around children.
...with our eyes isn't real. And I understand why. Her nose, face, teeth, eyes, and lips aren't real. But rather than that, I want to leave you with this. The man Stephen Miller referred to as a would-be assassin, Alex Preddy, was an ICU nurse who...
Oh, God. Here comes the fucking gay tears again. He wasn't... oh, Lord. At the time, he wasn't a nurse.
Who treated veterans, which is about...
Oh, you mean those people you don't give a shit about unless you're fucking campaigning on? Yeah, how many fucking veterans do you help, you scumbag? How many fucking vets do you give money to or help have, find housing after you voted to send them to war, you stupid cocksucking fuck?
As patriotic, I think, as it
gets... I care about them all of a sudden. Look at me, I'm crying. Oh, fuck you.
And the video of Alex that I would like you to see, maybe you've seen of this man they called a domestic terrorist, is from 2024, in which Alex...
Here's the thing, dipshit. Two things can be the same at once. He can be a nurse that helped vets, and he can be a fucking scumbag agitating domestic terrorist. You can't. You do realize you don't have to pick one or the other, because people aren't exactly that fucking in a box for you to pick. Oh, you're red, you're blue, you're this or you're that. No.
Honored one of his patients who passed away, a veteran named Terrence Lee Randolph.
Terrence Lee Randolph, March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. You have to work at it, nurture it, protect it.
I do wonder if any of this fucking radicalized him having to deal with this.
And even sacrifice for it. May we never forget and always remember our brothers and sisters who have served so that we may enjoy the gift of freedom. So in this moment, we remember and give thanks for their
gift of freedom to legally use a weapon and legally have it on you.
Dedication and selfless service to our nation in the cause of our freedom. In this solemn hour, we render them our honor and our gratitude.
Alex Preddy, may he rest in peace.
Oh my Lord. That was just almost 20 minutes of just pure, utter horseshit and jokes. Yeah. Here's the thing, Jimmy. Your ratings suck. You are not funny. You have never been funny. And you and your ilk have built up a wall around your past and your actions of having women dance around in bikinis on trampolines or do full blackface, and yet here you are wanting to rip and tear ICE and call them Nazis and the Gestapo. No, I don't care. I have no problem with a president using his constitutional given authority to take agents and squash what is essentially a rebellion, okay? To take agents to go in and remove people who do not belong here. Again, look up George Washington, and I think it was called the Whiskey Rebellion. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So you and your ilk can cry and scream and tweet and whatever, but I voted for this. I am not happy mind you, that two citizens, two human beings, are no longer with us. But I only care enough to the fact that human being is gone. That is the limit of my compassion and sympathy, to the level that this thing around my neck allows me to have and demands of me to have. Other than that, I don't care. They got fucking Darwin Awards. They got fuck around and find out awards. That's it. They turned what is legal tools into weaponry. End of discussion. And they got return in kind, essentially. Am I going too far? Am I wrong? Do you disagree? Let me know in the forum below. And remember, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And I don't push this often in my videos enough, but I do have a Discord if you wish to join it. It's in the description of my channel. All you got to do is answer how you found the channel, accept the rules, and you're good. And, you know, that allows you to vote on what games we play in the community game night on Fridays, 8 p.m. EST. This week, don't know what we're going to play. It's up to you, maybe. But, again, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and remember, God bless, and may demons fear when you wake in the morning.